Hey Sam, it's Carson, and I have a video update here for you showing some Gantt and KPI tracking options within Podio. So I did get permission from other clients to give you a quick view into their system. First off, I'm going to start by showing you this recommended solution. Basically, this is what Podio from the top says. If you want a Gantt chart and you're a Podio user, here's what you should go to. And I recommend you looking through this stuff. It really is the best option for being able to filter by projects and see different date options within a project, etc. And it's relatively affordable. If we go to this website for Smart Gantt, it can be as cheap as $5 per month, and it really is not a big deal for the solution that it offers. I do recommend it. I'll even give you this link here. There's been chats. This is since April 2013. It's been a number of years. People requesting Podio to have their own Gantt chart, and Podio basically always replying with, "We don't have our own. We don't intend to, but we recommend looking at this one I just showed you." So I'll give you these links so that you can check them out. They are what you ultimately want. Okay. Now, if you want to go with a solution that you don't have to pay even anything for an outside tool, um, here is one for one of my clients that they have field ops rehab projects going on, and they list out project overview details, but then they, as a sub piece, build a Gantt to put specific dates on a timeline for every little piece in this. And if I show you within one of these, so this is the stuff they're working on for this rehab, and it would ultimately have to look like this for you in Podio as well if you did it without one of the outside solutions. They have a option to put certain statuses. Okay, so our 25% status, where are we at? And then they can come and put the timeline. When do we expect the first 25% of stuff to be done? And then the 50% status with its timeline, 75% with its timeline. And so they put, when they're ready, they put each of these into the system here so that then they can check things based on a calendar view. So I don't know how detailed they've been updating all of them, but if we then come to a calendar view, they can see, okay, this project, there's certain things that are supposed to happen on the 5th through the 9th based on that. And if I were to click there, then I can open that to scroll down into the project and get a better understanding of what timeline that is. So that's our 50% timeline for that project. Okay. Now, to show you just one or two more setting options within this, if we modify their template and pop in here, we can go to each of those timeline options, and we can choose if we want that window of time to show on the calendar. Okay, we can choose if we want the next one to show on the calendar. So they're still playing with the settings to figure out exactly how they want this stuff to look, but this ultimately gives you an idea of how it would be built. And then what we would do in your situation is we would put a field in here called starting date. And I don't know if they have one actually on this example. It doesn't look like it, but we'd have up here just starting date. You'd punch that in, and then the computer would spit out for us, okay, that means this portion has these dates to be completed. This portion had, and it would automatically put, 2 week time periods or whatever breakdown we need. Okay. So then you can view that on the calendar like I showed you. It's not a true full Gantt. You don't get to view it like a Gantt standard is viewed. That's where something like this outside tool comes in, where all of those date windows can be viewed to see what's happening in different parts. And so I would recommend taking a look at Smart Gantt. Okay. Now let's move on to KPIs and talk about how those things are tracked. This other client system is a good example of this. You'll see we have an app actually called KPI Feeds, and we have determined certain things that we want to track throughout the course of business, And when they work on leads or when they close transactions, they have certain buttons that they're taught to push along the way to say, okay, trigger the KPI log for this, or this. And then we can open this up and see how things are going. In fact, it's very helpful to get a snapshot of business. You see, we've tracked over 65,000 data points over time. That's a lot of things that are stored in here. Now I'm going to filter just to what we've logged this week. And if we show this, simply by looking at this quick view, I can give you a good understanding. 55 new leads, that's a pretty decent week here. 25 leads have been deleted this week, meaning that, it's not just from this batch, but over time we've worked on stuff and we've said we don't need these ones anymore. Okay. Offers mailed, only one this week. Autoresponder messages sent, 815. That's a pretty good number to show, hey, we're following up with these people. Okay. Acquisition appointments set, 22, completed 9, canceled 3. We can see all these crucial numbers being stored in the system here. And that's just built by having various spots throughout these different apps where we say, my appointment got canceled, click a button to log the KPI. And we put that throughout. Okay. And then lastly, for the reporting of these, it can be done in a number of ways. Here's the reports they look at, basically just to pop open and see. So they have last week's numbers and they can check out what everything looks like here. This week's numbers, they can see how it compares. So far this quarter, last quarter, they have different options to be displayed. Or they can come and they can build a custom report. So let's say I want to count per team members, who it's attributed to. I want to see it in a bar graph, right? I can very quickly build a report showing, all right, it looks like in the time frame I've put here, which the current time frame is the current week, looks like my employee Christy has by far outperformed others with the actions that she's been logging. Okay. So reports like this can be generated, and then we can go and we can title these reports and we can save them to various places like a workspace homepage, and then those reports can be easy to look at. So those are some of the options you wanted to see as far as KPIs and reporting. Um, and then you can have reports within each app, or if you save them to the home page, it makes it easy to kind of group together information because you could have reports from anywhere and you could save them right here. So here's some examples of things that they're tracking that they want to put kind of in a standard dashboard. Okay. So those examples hopefully help you understand what your options are as far as Gantt charts and then reporting. Oh, and 2 other links I'll be sending you. Plecto is great for building full-on report dashboards that are prettier than Podio can offer. This other solution, Overview dashboards for Podio, another great option. They can sync in, pull your Podio data, and put information on charts like this. You would work with their companies directly to get something like this in place. I'll give you the links that you can research them if you're interested.